The ancient Greek mathematician Archimedes shouted, "Eureka!" when he hit upon a method for determining the purity of gold. Since then, there have been plenty of eurekas in the world, and this word accompanies us to this day. While we have our own eureka moments in our daily lives, the term is not so common when we talk about our mental health. We tend to think that all our bad moods, anxiety, or other problems are because of hardwiring in our brains, and that we don't have any influence over our painful emotions. However, Dr. Juliesmith's book, Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before?, might change your mind. Published in 2022 by an experienced clinical psychologist, this book shows that we have more control over our mental health than most of us are taught to believe. Smith is a modern-day expert and is believed to be the first mental health professional to start using TikTok as a platform for therapy, where she now has almost 5 million followers. In her newest book, she helps readers realize that mental well-being might be easier to achieve than we think by outlining some of the most important strategies. So don't be surprised if after hearing her advice you find yourself asking, "Why has nobody told me this before?" The book has a 3.9 rating on Goodreads, with people recommending it for those who struggle with anxiety, panic, or depression. So what steps from her toolkit does the author suggest for managing mental health on a daily basis? Step 1. Become aware of how your feelings are generated. Feelings aren't just in your head, says Dr. Smith. They are everywhere and can be influenced by your living conditions, your past and present, or the people you surround yourself with. All emotions must have a source, and according to the author, they always result from unmet needs. By identifying those needs, we can handle our emotions better. From her experiences with patients, Dr. Smith noticed some common patterns. Patients often felt that their bad moods came from nowhere, and that they just couldn't be happy. But let's take an easy example to illustrate that every feeling has a source. Imagine you worked late and stressed over an imminent deadline. You also forgot your bedtime water and experienced a restless night. Awakened harshly by your alarm, you're left feeling irritable and exhausted due to stress, lack of sleep, and dehydration. It's easy to find the source of your low moods. The author suggests maintaining a journal to record both good and bad experiences, including your thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations during them. This practice will gradually reveal patterns and specific factors influencing your moods over time. When a person is able to break down the emotions and feelings, they can start addressing the unmet needs by asking themselves, what specific thoughts arise when I feel down? When do these thoughts begin to appear? What additional physical feelings did I notice? What were my actions in the week before experiencing the low mood? Unfortunately, building this awareness won't solve all of your problems. Some of them are just too complex and may need professional help. But still, increased awareness will help in your joint work with the therapist. Step 2. Change bad moods to better moods. It is easy to get stuck in an ongoing low mood cycle. Painful moods often lead to bad decisions, which lead to yet another emotional band-aid. And here we are, trapped in a cycle of low mood. Dr. Smith says that good enough decisions can help you get out of this cycle. There's no need for grand gestures. The key is to aim small with continual progress. For example, the author advises that the good enough decision is to incorporate some light exercise into your day, rather than pushing yourself with an hour-long cardio session. You can also learn more about this method of creating tiny habits in another book written by B.J. Fogg, which we have already summarized for you too. One of the most common questions the author gets asked as a psychologist is how to make anxiety go away. So let's see what Dr. Smith suggests. Step 3. Use the square breathing method. Managing anxiety is about facing fears. If we try to run from it, it will get worse. But if we learn to deal with it, it can open up our lives. Let's say someone became anxious in crowded places during the pandemic. This leads to avoiding public transport, supermarkets, or even leaving home. How to overcome this anxiety? Start in the book, the author suggests starting with small increments first. Take a bus, go to a supermarket. Do it for short periods of time, repeat it the next day, and watch your confidence grow. Or not. There's a possibility it won't work, but Dr. Smith offers an easy-to-learn technique called square breathing to get past sudden bouts of anxiety. So once you feel panic starting to build, try this. Find something square. It can be a window, a box, or your wallet. Stare at the bottom left corner of the square and count to 4 as you breathe in, moving your eyes up to the top left corner. Hold your breath for 4 seconds, moving your eyes to the top right corner. Exhale for 4 seconds as you move your eyes to the bottom right corner. Again, hold your breath for 4 seconds, moving your eyes back to the bottom left corner. That's it. It will calm your anxiety, and following the square will ensure you do it long enough before the benefits kick in. Although this book is written by an expert in the field, Dr. Smith acknowledges that reading her work might not be enough. There is no shame in asking for help, not only from therapists, but also from family or friends. But first, now you won't have to ask, why has nobody told you that before? You already know.